a man walks free from prison, ready to start fresh. But instead of a second chance, he's thrown into absolute chaos. An overbearing sister, a lying ex, and a crime buddy who won't let go. Will he escape his past, or is he doomed to repeat his mistakes? This is Crazy on the Outside, a story about redemption, family drama, and the struggle to move on. Our story begins as Tommy Zelda, played by Tim Allen, steps out of prison after 3 years. His crime? Movie piracy. That's right, this man wasn't robbing banks or pulling heists. He was burning DVDs. And yet, the world he returns to feels just as dangerous as prison. Waiting for him outside is his sister Vicky, played by Sigourney Weaver. From the moment he gets in the car, she takes control, talking over him, and making it clear that in her house, he's still not a free man. Tommy may have been released from prison, but he just walked into another one, with fewer bars but way more nagging. Back at Vicky's house, Tommy is hit with his first big shock. He believed his mother died while he was in prison. Turns out she's been alive this whole time. And who fed him this devastating lie? His ex-girlfriend, Christy. Imagine doing 3 years thinking your mom was gone, only to find out your ex just didn't want to deal with you. That's cold. That's supervillain cold. But it gets worse. Christy isn't just living her life, she's engaged. And not just to anyone, Enan, but to Frank, the same cop who arrested Tommy. That's like getting tackled in a football game, then finding out the guy who hit you is now dating your sister, just insult to injury. Determined to go straight, Tommy dreams of restarting his father's painting business. But Vicky has other plans. She forces him to work at her fast food restaurant, where he wears a ridiculous uniform and gets bossed around like a teenager. Tommy went from selling bootleg DVDs to flipping burgers. Honestly, one illegal, the other soul-crushing. Tough choice. Meanwhile, his parole officer, Angela, enters the picture. She's strict but fair, laying out the rules. Get a job, stay away from criminals, and avoid trouble. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. Because trouble comes looking for Tommy in the form of Gray, his old crime buddy. Gray wastes no time trying to rope Tommy back into the game. But Tommy resists, determined to stay clean. Even when Christy starts showing up, making it painfully obvious she still has feelings for him, Tommy tries to stay focused. Dude is fighting off old habits and old heartbreaks. That's double the willpower. But things take a turn when Tommy, exhausted by his sister's constant control, tries to assert himself. Every decision he makes, where to work, who to talk to, what to do with his life, is questioned by Vicky. And it's not just annoying, it's suffocating. When he finally snaps and demands some space, Vicky throws a curveball. She confesses that keeping him under control is her way of making sure he doesn't screw up again. Vicky means well, but she's treating Tommy like a toddler. There's a fine line between caring and straight-up smothering. As Tommy struggles, Gray starts getting pushier. He tempts Tommy with an easy score, one last job that would set him up for life. The problem? Tommy knows one last job never actually means one last job. But Gray isn't just offering money, he's offering freedom. A chance to escape Vicky's control, Frank's looming presence, and the miserable fast food gig. That moment when crime sounds better than your actual job? Yeah, things are bad. But Tommy resists. Instead, he finds himself bonding with Angela, his parole officer. She's the first person who actually listens to him. She sees him as more than just an ex-con, and for the first time, Tommy starts to believe he can change. But then, the inevitable happens. Gray tricks Tommy into being part of a crime. Tommy thinks he's helping with an innocent job, painting an office. Turns out, he's been set up as a distraction while Gray and his crew rob the place. 1 minute, you're holding a paintbrush. The next, you're an accessory to robbery. Life really does come at you fast. The worst part? The police show up. Tommy has 2 choices: run and risk going back to prison, or stay and prove he had nothing to do with it. This is the moment of truth. And for the first time in his life, Tommy makes the right decision. He refuses to run. Instead, he calls the cops on Gray himself. Plot twist. The ex-con just turned the tables on his own crime buddy. Didn't see that coming, did you? But the story isn't over. Tommy still has to face Christy one last time. She finally confesses that she never really loved Frank, that she still has feelings for Tommy. But this time, Tommy isn't falling for it. He walks away, proving to himself that he's finally ready to move on. My man just hit his final boss, his past, and he won. By the end, Tommy finally gets together with Angela, proving he's serious about change. He starts his painting business, leaving behind crime for good. Gray ends up right back in jail. And Vicky? She actually eases up a little. Tommy's story proves that escaping the past isn't just about leaving prison. It's about choosing who you want to be, no matter how much chaos is pulling you back. What do you think? Would you have handled things differently? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more movie recaps.